So if it's a deal out there to find, I'm gonna find it. About the great coats, and they're basically the king's guard. And I think they ended up failing because the king got killed, sweetie. Alright, hey guys, it's Jocelyn. Welcome back to my channel, Jocelyn Reads. And today I'm filming one of my favorite videos on BookTube to both film and watch, and it's a book haul, duh. So I haven't filmed a book haul on my channel since June. So these are all the books that have been sent to me that I have purchased or that I have borrowed from the library from June till November. So I have quite a few picks to show you, and I'm actually really excited to talk about them. But before I get into talking about them, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Ana Luisa. And Ana Luisa is a jewelry company that is 100% carbon neutral, and I have worked with them before, and I absolutely loved my last experience working with them. So I was super excited to have them reach out to me again, because their pieces are so nice in the sense that they have dainty jewelry that I really enjoy. As you guys know, typically in my videos I'm wearing like huge hoop earrings or dangly earrings. I just love the way earrings frame my face, especially when I have my curly hair. But I love the fact that Ana Luisa has dainty jewelry that really pops still. Like, I love how these earrings are green, so I really love these. And I was lucky enough to have Ana Luisa send me 3 different pieces, 2 of which I'm wearing. This one here is called the Temple Green layered necklace. It comes with a choker, which I really love because it's convenient, because you can put it on and off and kind of switch up the piece, and you can put the choker with other pieces that you buy from the company, and they're both really good quality, so I love it. So this time I just took the choker off to kind of not clash with the turtleneck, and I just wore the pendant. And then I'm also wearing these Dobby green earrings, and they both fit really well together. They're not a set, but you can find pieces that you can mix and match on the website that go amazing together, which is what I did with these 2. And then the other piece that I got from them is the Hannah necklace. And one thing that's going on right now that I'm excited about, and I'm excited to share with you guys, is their Black Friday sale. What you can do is you can buy one jewelry piece and get the other for 60% off, which I think is a really amazing deal for the prices that Ana Luisa has. And yeah, the only other thing that I want to talk about with Ana Luisa that I really enjoy and admire about their company is that any of their like non-damaged return pieces that they get, they actually donate them to this company called Dress for Success, which is built on empowering women throughout the United States. So I think that's just a really good thing that they do, and they also make sure that none of their jewelry go into landfills. So I just think that the company is really admirable. So if you guys really like these pieces and you think that they're nice as well, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as my pinned comment. Okay, so I have quite a few books to get into, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The first books I want to talk about is one that I bought, and then 2 are the only 2 library books I have to talk about. So that is Best Served Cold, The Heroes in Red Country by Joe Abercrombie. Joe Abercrombie is quickly becoming one of my favorite adult fantasy authors ever. I think he is hilarious, and I love the way that he makes things come full circle in his books. And I don't know, something about his books are literally just so engaging. I recently talked about this in my vlog that I just did, which was an adult fantasy standalones vlog, about how The Blade itself, the First Law trilogy, just made me really fall back in love with adult fantasy, and it made me just want to read everything adult fantasy. So of course I have to start with reading all of the works that Joe Abercrombie has come out with. These 3 are 3 standalones that follow the First Law trilogy. These come in between, and then there's a second trilogy called The Age of Madness, which I'm pretty sure follows the children of the people in the First Law trilogy. So I have a lot to get through, but I really love that about adult fantasy. Like, I feel like adult fantasy authors spoil you with content, and I couldn't be more thankful for that, because I think that's what we all go to like fanfics and stuff like that for. So to get it from the author themselves is just a blessing, truly. And so of course I had to read these in between. At first I was going to skip these and go straight into The Age of Madness, because I didn't think I was a standalone girl. I'm starting to think that I actually am, but at the time I didn't think so, so I was going to skip it. But then Aaron told me that first off, Best Served Cold is supposedly Joe Abercrombie's best work. I'll be the judge of that, we'll see, but I have to read it to judge it. So I decided that I should go ahead and read these, because these also have bearings on the Age of Madness trilogy. So what do I look like skipping them? A clown. So I'm not gonna do it. The next books that I have are ones that were sent to me because my birthday was in August, and then also someone just sent me a book. One of my friends sent me a book, and that was Jamila. She sent me The Night Circus. Me and her did a Strange the Dreamer live show together, and I just love talking to Jamila. She is a true sweetheart, so thank you to her for sending me this. I've already thanked her personally, but obviously I want to thank her again if I'm holding it up. But this book is by Erin Morgenstern, and I freaking love Erin Morgenstern, and that is a very weird statement for me to say, because I technically have not finished one of her books, and it's because I started The Starless Sea, And I read The Starless Sea after reading Strange the Dreamer, and I was just enamored by The Starless Sea. I absolutely loved it, and I loved it so much to the point where I stopped reading it because I never wanted to experience finishing that book and realizing that I couldn't read it for the first time ever again. So me and that book are kind of just stuck together right now, me being in the middle and not wanting to finish it because I'm terrified, because I feel like I will never get that feeling ever again in my life. So I love Erin Morgenstern, but I have not finished one of her books. But I feel like I can finish The Night Circus, and that will give me the courage to finish The Starless Sea, because I mean, I have to know how the story ends, so there's that. But this book, I always get mixed up with Carnival because the synopses seem so similar to me. They're both about like these magical carnivals, and they just get mixed up in my head. But I think that this book is about this circus that comes into town and disappears. See, it's already starting to sound like Carnival though. I don't know, but I think it's about the circus that comes into town and disappears, and we have two apprentices that maybe are supposed to compete with each other, but they end up wanting to collaborate with each other instead, and I think they fall in love. And I know that this is going to be super mystical and magical, and the writing is going to be very lush and like purple prose. If there's one thing that I love in a book, especially if it's not adult fantasy, it's purple prose and just really flowery poetic writing, and that's why I fell in love with The Starless Sea. So I know I'll fall in love with this too, and I am super excited to go ahead and read it. And I think we won't get another book from Erin Morgenstern for another like 5 years because she just takes so long to write her books, but they're so good, so I can't even judge the girl because obviously she knows what she's doing. Okay, so next two books I have were sent to me by my bestie Marianne. She sent them to me for my birthday, which was August 3rd. And yeah, she sent me the atlassix, which is like a found family dark academia, which has recently been traditionally published, I believe, by Tor. So this copy, I don't know if it'll be in rotation for a long time or not. I don't know if it'll become limited edition or what, but I do really love this cover. So I'm super excited that Marianne sent it to me, so thank you to you, Marianne. This book is, I think I just said it, a found family dark academia. I think that there are 6 kids that are competing against one another to become part of this secret society, and whichever one doesn't actually get in dies. And I mean, it's just top tier dark academia. Like, that's the stereotypical dark academia synopsis. But I think this book looks really good with me right now because I'm kind of giving dark academia right now, but I also think I'm giving just like a black gossip girl person. So I mean, it is what it is. The next book that she sent me was The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwen. This John Gwen situation is a bit similar to Erin Morgenstern for me, in the sense that I've started one of John Gwen's books, really liked what I was reading, and then just put it down. I don't know why, but I have a habit of doing that. Like, who puts down books that they like? Me, only me. I don't know what it is. But either way, I started Malice by John Gwen. He has this whole series, and it was really good so far, and I was really liking where it was going as an adult fantasy. Super engaging, and I just put it down. I'm supposed to buddy read it with Mina soon, so hopefully I will finish that and then get into this book, because I know once I finish the Malice series, then I will just want more and more books from John Gwen. So I'm super grateful that Marianne sent this to me, so when I finish that, I can jump right into this. The next book that I have was sent to me by Marianne from Marianne Reads Sometimes, another one of my favorite friends on BookTube and just favorite creators in general. Definitely check out her channel. And this is A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This book is a Dracula reimagining that has like polyamorous subplots, I'm pretty sure. It's super short. I think it's a novella. Would you call this a novella? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a novella. It should take me like no time at all to read. So I think this will be one that I save to read in between my adult fantasy binges, like in between, maybe when I finish the standalones and then go to the Age of Madness. This will be the one that I read in between, just to give myself a bit of a break, give my brain time to chill. So thank you, Marianne, for sending me this for my birthday. And then the next book that I have was also sent to me for my birthday, and this was by Mika from Mika August, another one of my favorite creators and one of my favorite friends on BookTube. This is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten, and this is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and it's also adult fantasy, I'm pretty sure, because it's by Orbit, but it's also fantasy romance, which I have not read an adult fantasy romance other than Crescent City. And that really wasn't giving me adult fantasy vibes. It was giving me more new adult fantasy, but I mean, it is what it is. Either way, this is my next one that I'm going to try. I also have a feeling that this is going to be more new adult. I can just kind of tell by the cover and how it's been talked about. But I am a huge adult fantasy lover, so either way, I think that this is going to give what it's supposed to give. I don't know. I haven't heard the girlies really talk about this. People were really excited when it was first coming out, but then I never really heard opinions for it afterwards. So I guess we'll see. Me and you, we'll see together. But this is about this girl who is the second daughter of this family, and the role of the second daughter is for them to be sacrificed to a wolf. So this is kind of giving Little Red Riding Hood, but it's also giving kind of Beauty and the Beast to me, where I think she's going to be sacrificed to the wolf, but they're actually going to fall in love. So it's going to be like enemies to lovers excellence. Okay, let me talk about this one first because the other two go together. This one is Bet the Farm by Stacey Hart. This cover, yeah, this cover is one of the most stunning things that I've ever seen. This pink right here, this pink is my favorite color ever. So when I saw this, I definitely had to put it on my wish list solely for the cover alone. And yeah, Mia from Mia Rose Reads actually sent this to me for my birthday, so thank you, Mia. That's another one of my close friends on booktube. I think we started around the same time and just have always supported each other since then, so I'm really grateful for Mia, and she's just a really sweet person. It actually reminds me of It Happened One Summer, where it's this kind of bougie girl named Olivia, I think, who ends up going to this like country town, and she's supposed to be fixing up this farm, and she meets this grumpy farmer that lives there, and he's like, you can't do it, and she's like, yes I can. And it's like an enemies to lovers type of thing. So I mean, I love enemies to lovers. I love when you get like the bougie girl with the kind of like blue collar worker, and it just gives, honestly. As Tessa Bailey with It Happened One Summer, it gave. So I'm thinking that this one will as well. I definitely will update you guys, but either way, this is gonna stay on my shelves forever solely for this cover because it's absolutely stunning and the world needs to see it. Lastly, books that were sent to me on my birthday were from one of my really close friends as well, theatrical reader Jessica. I've known her literally since I started my book Twitter, and I just love her from the depths of my soul. So she sent me my first ever Marianne Zapata books, which is from Luke Off with Love. Marianne Zapata books are pricey, let me tell you. If you have all of Marianne Zapata books, I'm just gonna have to assume that you're wealthy. I'm going to have to assume that you're in the top 1% because baby, these are expensive. So I'm really grateful for her to send me these. So thank you, Jessica. Thank you for sending me this because I am a Marianne Zapata stan. Like, I've been hearing some slander recently, and I personally cannot agree. Like, I think Marianne Zapata puts her foot in every single book she writes. I mean, they're bricks. So, and I just think that she is the best at writing grumpy sunshine trope. Her romances seem so realistic because they're so slow burn. You can actually believe that the characters really love each other, and her romances just warm my heart. I've already read this one. It is actually one of my favorites from her. I think it's from Luke Off with Love and All Roads Lead Here. Those are my top two by Marianne Zapata, and so I'm happy to actually own one. So thank you to Jessica for that. If you don't know what From Luke Off with Love is about, I would be super surprised because it's super popular, but it's about a figure skater romance. They have this long-standing rivalry, and they end up having to be partners, and they fall in love in the process, and it is really cute. It has some of the best tropes. It has like him taking care of her when she's sick. It has like, I think, babysitting together, which top tier Wattpad trope, and I'm so glad that Marianne Zapata put that in this book. The other book she sent me is Morning Star by Pierce Brown. If you know me and you have been watching my channel for a while, you know that the Red Rising series is one of my favorite series of all time. Like, Pierce Brown put his whole foot in that series, and I will die on that hill. And I have the paperbacks, but I really wanted the hardcover. They're just beauty, they're grace, they're Miss United States. I just love them so much. And so I now have the hardcover of Red Rising, and I have the hardcover of Morning Star. When I put them all together on my sci-fi shelf, I'll be living my best life. So thank you to Jessica for this. If you don't know what Red Rising is about, I'm just going to link my best books of 2020 because there's lots to say there. And this is a third book in the series, so I don't want to spoil it. Okay, so those are all the books that I have gotten from the library or people have sent to me. So thank you to anyone who sent me a book in these past couple of months. I've thanked everyone else personally. Like, I thanked everyone personally, but just to say it again, thank you. And now the rest are all books that I've bought myself for the past few months. Okay, so the first one that I have is The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis, and I think that I got this on a buy one get one deal from Barnes & Noble, and this is an adult sci-fi, and I don't really know much about it, and I'm pretty much sure I got it from the library once and talked about it, and I still don't know, and I decided to just buy it myself because every single time I get this book from the library, I don't read it. So what do? Just spend my money. Of course I do. So this book is about this woman who's a first sister, and I think she's like a maiden on the ship. It takes place on the ship. She's like the comfort woman, and I'm pretty sure this like tackles themes of like feminism and the role of women in society and things like that in a sci-fi setting. So I think this will be really good to read. Also compared to, what is that book by Margaret Atwood that's also a TV show on Hulu? The Handmaid's Tale. I think this is compared to The Handmaid's Tale. Never read it, but people really love the Hulu series, so Handmaid's Tale in space, I guess. Super excited for it. Well, this book is kind of hard to explain because I don't know what it's about. Like, the synopsis is kind of weird, but it is an adult fantasy by a woman, so I'm super excited to read that. I feel like most adult fantasies that I have read are by men, so it's cool to read one by a woman. And this one is about, I guess it's when the A team fails. So I think there's like this prophecy chosen one who is supposed to complete this mission, probably something to do with war, saving the world. And I think that team fails. So now the B team comes in. It's kind of giving Suicide Squad a bit. So now you get the B team that's like the thieves, the burglars, the criminals really that are coming in and now saving the day. And wait, I just said that synopsis and it sounded really good actually. I really want to read this now. I just convinced myself to read the book. Love that for me. Next one that I have, I also got from Barnes & Noble that same day. And it's Veda Nostra by Marianne and Sergi. And I think this is a translated work. I don't remember the exact language that the first one comes in. But this is a translated dark academia. I heard this is also like a staple dark academia to read. Don't know what it's about, but I can tell you it takes place at a school. It probably has like some pretentious characters. And a murder probably occurs. And if I'm wrong, this is not even dark academia at that point. Next one that I have, I read in my most recent vlog. It's washed out because it's white, but either way, it's Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. This is one, I think this is the only book that I've read in this haul, so that's like shame on me. But either way, this is Brandon Sanderson's, I think, only standalone, but also it's kind of a prequel to the Stormlight Archives, so is it really a standalone? Who knows? But either way, it follows 3 main characters, one of which is named Vivenna. She is the eldest daughter to a king. We have Ciri, who is the youngest daughter to a king, and then we have Lightsong, who is a god. And in this world, originally Vivenna is supposed to be promised to this guy who was called the God King, who is basically the ruler of the opposing kingdom to Ciri's and Vivenna's. And her dad goes through this loophole where he ends up giving Ciri to the God King instead of Vivenna because he loves Vivenna too much to give her away. And then we have Vivenna trying to go save Ciri, and then we have Ciri in this new society where she's trying to figure out what is really going on and if everything that she has been told is true growing up. And she's also just getting to know who the God King actually is because he's pretty much an enigma. He's a really huge mystery. And then we're also like have this conflict that goes on in terms of there being this threat of this war between Ciri's old kingdom and her new kingdom. And there's just a lot going on there, but I really enjoyed this book. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. If you want to hear me talk about this book more, definitely go watch the vlog that I previously posted. So the next book that I have is one that I have never seen on BookTube, but I have it for this specific video. I ordered it a while ago and have yet to film the video, but it is called Alphabet of Thorn by Patricia McKillop. So this book, I feel like you're gonna be able to guess the video that I have, the idea, as soon as you hear what it's about. But it's about this orphan who falls in love with this book, and she ends up figuring out that some of the things that are happening in this book become entwined with her own life. It sounds like one of my favorite books ever, and I am really excited to read it and see if I love it just as much because it's supposed to be just as mythical, just as magical, just as whimsical, just as beautiful in the writing. And I love that plot, so why not read it in another book? Okay, the next book I have, I also bought from Barnes & Noble. It's The X-Hex by Erin Sterling. This is one that has actually missed its timing on me because I didn't read it during Halloween. So now I'm either gonna have to wait till next Halloween or just read it out of season. Either way, I've heard mixed opinions on this one. It's about this girl named Vivian who ends up having like this bad like ending breakup with her ex, and her cousin, I think, like jokingly hexed him, but then it's an actual hex, but they didn't mean for it to be real, and then they come back together like second chance lovers, and this hex is like working against him now. It sounds really cute, really fun, nothing serious, and I think that I will like it when I actually read it. Next book that I have, I got from Thrift Books along with 2 other books, and it is Upon a Burning Throne by Ashok Banker. Hopefully I said that name right. And I think my friend Stephanie really enjoyed this book. She gave it 5 stars, and I trust her adult fantasy recommendations, so I picked it up from Thrift Books once I saw that she gave it 5 stars. Also got this hardcover for $4, so you can just go ahead and call me the bargain queen. Like, if it's one thing about me, I'm going to find a deal because I'm cheap and I don't like spending my money. So if it's a deal out there to find, I'm gonna find it. So this one is adult fantasy about 2 sisters who have claims to the throne. I think it just takes more than just being the heir to be able to get the throne. You have to sit on the throne, which is on fire, and either you survive sitting on the throne or you get incinerated. And I think in this case, both of the heirs do not get incinerated. They both survive, but then there's also a third person who is not an heir that is also survives the throne, and I think there's going to be conflict there. It sounds really good. It's super huge, so I'm hoping for like really rich world building. I'm hoping for really well developed characters, and I'm hoping for some humor because I really do love humor in adult fantasy. So I actually want this to get really gritty as well, so violence, I want it. Okay, I'm down to my last 3 books. The first one I also got from Thrift Books. It's Traitor's Blade by Sebastian de Castile. So this one follows this group of people who I think are called the Great Coats, and they're basically the king's guard. And I think they ended up failing because the king got killed, sweetie. So I don't think they really did their job. The king got killed, and now they are trying to fulfill the king's final mission after his death and keep their kingdom from getting overthrown and kind of like from falling apart without a king. And that's all I really know. I did skim that synopsis, so something is wrong there. Oopsies. The last book that I got from Thrift Books was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I picked this up because Books with Brittany really liked this series, and it was a surprise to her. And I've always heard about it. I think it's kind of a notorious adult book. I think it also has a movie. I've never seen the movie, but I thought I might as well just go ahead and read it now that I'm in the adult genre. I think it follows this girl's uncle who is trying to find her. She's like missing, and he teams up with this girl with this dragon tattoo to find her. Also, I think the girl who's helping him find his niece is a prodigy, and I think prodigies are some of the most interesting characters to read about, like in general, like prodigies in real life, prodigies in fictions. Prodigies in fiction, they all are just so interesting, and I just love someone who's the best at what they do. Like, I don't know if that comes from something from me, like I don't know, like I just love when someone is the best. Like, I don't really want to read about someone who's the worst at something. I do want to read about them training to become the best, but if you're the worst, like you're not doing anything for me. So if I'm reading about someone who's the best at their field, I'm eating it up. Okay, so the last book that I have from this haul I just recently bought, and it was from Barnes & Noble, because now that I just be driving everywhere recently, I don't know what it is. Like, I used to have driving anxiety, and now I don't like driving. That's a bit much, but I'm more comfortable driving, so now I'm always driving to Barnes & Noble. Like, if it's one place I'm gonna be on the weekends, it's Barnes & Noble. Duh. And so I went there this most recent weekend and got the Black Tongue Thief, because this hardcover is sold out a lot of places online. So I just went and picked it up. And this book's writing is compared to Joe Abercrombie, so who am I not to go ahead and buy it? Like, if it's compared to my man Joe, I'm gonna buy it from now on. Like, you cannot stop me. So this book follows this guy who's this thief, and he's waiting under this bridge to rob someone because he's trying to pay off his debts. And so the person who actually comes up and who he tries to rob ends up being a knight, and so he obviously fails, and somehow after that their lives become entwined and they have these common enemies, and I think they end up having to work together. And I'm really excited for this because I heard it more specifically has the same humor as the Blade itself, and if it's one thing the Blade itself did, it made me laugh out loud. And so I just want to get those same feelings, like that same grit, that same kind of like grim dark violence with humor. Like, it sounds like those two features wouldn't mix, but Joe Abercrombie does it so well, and I hope to see that Christopher does it just as well. But obviously I will keep you guys updated. But that is the last book that I have in this haul. I do want to remind you to go ahead and check out Ana Luisa's Black Friday sale. Reminder, there's a link both in my description as well as my pinned comment, so check those out. It is buy one get one 60% off, so you don't want to miss out on it because the pieces are so cute, and I want all of my girlies to be cute just like me. So yes, like, comment, subscribe, and all those things down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.